Hey, and welcome back to Be Seen. I am your co-host for this adventure, Captain Joe Dove. You are in the console room with your host, Ernesto.
Time Lords, Time Ladies, welcome back to the console room. And wow, what an episode we are going to be discussing tonight.
It was freaky deaky for sure.
Wow.
Is this like you have a young child? Would you have showed him this episode? Or did he watch it with you? I'm just curious.
No, he did not. You know what? I think that it would, depending on the child, it would be taken out of context. Because I mean, let's face it, David Tennant's chin dropping is no different than you'd see in a cartoon.
It's true.
Okay. The big arms.
Yeah.
Okay? The spider walk, on the other hand, that's a little bit much. Spider walk is just universally creepy.
Yeah, from Bray Wyatt all the way to Doctor Who. It's just a creepy thing.
Well, the first time that the spider walk, it was actually edited out of The Exorcist in 1973.
Oh yeah, when she was walking up the stairs backwards. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Well, I mean, I remember reading about it.
Well, the thing was edited down. There was if you look on if you dig out your old CDs,
what?
Blow them off, and try and find a CD player that works, and go through the special features. They actually have an entire scene where the stunt double is chasing Regan's mother all over the house in that spider walk.
Oh, that's cool. I gotta.
They edited it out because they think because that was too freaky for The Exorcist.
Yeah. So I also do a music podcast called This Dungeon on this channel.
Yes.
And one of the episodes that we talked about was called Lyricless because we talked about Tubular Bells, which became famous because of The Exorcist because it's such a. So I just full circle. Ernesto, how's everything? This episode really got into
I'm sure all of our fans have already watched it, and if they're anything like us, they're a bunch of big nerds. But if they're anything like us, I'm sure that they've read some of the other articles that have been published online. One that I saw called this episode an instant Russell T Davies classic.
Yeah.
And I completely agree. As far as I'm concerned, this is the creepiest Doctor Who episode of Doctor Who since the appearance of the Weeping Angels in Blink.
Wow.
And now there's something I would not show my kids.
Oh yeah, that was a creepy one. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Doctor Who.
Fellas, you're never going to stop asking.
What a fantastic way to bring back our new Doctor, because he's technically the 14th Doctor.
He is 14.
Yeah.
He is 14.
What a way to bring him out into this wildly bizarre world where they land on a massive starship and they look out the window and they notice there's no lights. So they're wondering, where exactly are they in space?
Well, you're forgetting the cold open.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you're correct. Oops, I spilled something on your console.
To land in an apple tree in England in 1666.
Yes. Hanging out with the good doctor.
With Mr. Not yet, sir.
Yes, it's true.
Isaac Newton. And of course, they had to make the joke, the gravity of the situation.
Yes.
And I love the fact that Isaac Newton was, wait, what was that word? What was that word? And then cut the credits. And then, of course, we crash land onto the ship. And as they're investigating what they see in the distance, Donna says, comments about how hot Sir Isaac Newton was. And the Doctor comes right out and says, so hot, and then stops themselves and like, quote, oh, is that who I am now?
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And Donna just, Donna just being Donna shoots back, that's never been far from the surface, mate.
Yeah.
Hinting that something that if what I read is true, something that Shooty got was Doctor is going to be part of his personality is going to be that he is indeed omnisexual.
Interesting.
Yes. 10 and 11 were obviously heterosexual.
Mm-hmm.
The Doctor falling in love with Rose, and 11 not only falling in love but marrying River Song.
Right.
So there was even though Doctor Who has always been very progressive, they never shied away from homosexuality, bisexuality, or pansexuality.
Right.
But now I think with the
do you think this is a Disney
Rose?
Change? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You think this is a Disney change?
No, from what I understand, from what I've read, Disney is only the distribution hub for the United States and the rest of the world. They don't have any money in. They are not doing any production. They are only distributing.
Okay.
Doctor Who.
So nobody's got their fingers in the pot. So this
right.
is all
this
straight
is
up
all
Russell.
This is all Russell T Davies and his company, Bad Wolf Productions.
Amazing.
So I love that this is something, yet another personality of the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
With the introduction of our, I don't think Rose was our first transgender character, but our first major transgender character in Doctor Who. And the fact that Rose is, the child of Donna, no less. That's a big deal.
Yeah. But in this episode, the Doctor and Donna are in this massive ship, and you find out that there is something amiss this time.
There is definitely something amiss.
There's nobody there. It's just empty.
Yes, it's empty. But this wouldn't be the first time that the Doctor has come across an empty ship or space station. But there are no stars.
Yes. So that
TARDIS was out of control.
Yeah.
And brought them
to the end of space.
Of the universe.
Yes. The end.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was a very cool place to land. I remember in the 2005 Bad Wolf, so to speak, series, they went to the end of time, I think, and that's where they stumbled on the Master again.
No, that was not with the Master. That was, I don't remember who the nemesis was for that particular episode, but another one you're talking about. It was the end.
End of the Earth.
I think Russ took a little bit paid a little bit of a tribute to the restaurant at the end of the universe. A little nod to Douglas Adams.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the Doctor and Rose, Nine and Rose, did go to the end of
time.
The end of time. But this is a whole different thing. This is the edge of the universe. And he even discusses it that we as humans, even the Dr. Donna, with her knowledge, with her Time Lord knowledge, can't grasp the concept of the universe having an edge, having an end.
Right. Because even if you look out to the stars, they're billions of miles, light years away anyway. So you'd still be able to see some light, but there was nothing. Very creepy start.
And it only got creepier. Let's discuss the enemies.
All right.
I shall now kill you, Doctor.
Nothing like having yourself as your enemy. This was a really creepy take on having a bad guy in this season.
Great, and a great pull with those with the fangs and those teeth. One of the great things, the first time I watched the episode, I was really paying attention. They didn't name these species.
Nope.
All they said was that they came in, that they were traveling in this void, and came onto the ship.
Right.
They are never named.
Correct.
Rewatching it again today for the podcast tonight, I had the subtitles on.
Oh,
And
smart man.
Mm-hmm. They actually, and thank you subtitles. They were called, quote, not things.
Not things.
So I'm assuming that that's what they were called in the script.
Things.
So that
But
was
they were
very
freaky
interesting
because, kind of like changing, they were able to shift and mold.
Mhm.
And then it got to a point where they shifted and molded, and it got real creepy because they couldn't quite get the arms right, and they couldn't duplicate the Doctor and Donna as they properly wanted to, because they were trying to get off the ship, and
and it was only the adrenaline and the elevated heartbeats and the excitement that helped them to absorb the Doctor and Donna's memories and to perfect their physical forms, which is why everything was going in slow motion. The former captain who ejected herself into space to stop these not things figured it out before the Doctor did.
Yeah.
So kudos to them.
Yeah. Because
one thing I did notice though, which was a little surprising, but also solidified what Russell T Davies is doing moving forward. At one point, the not Donna brings up the Doctor's past to him and talks about the flux. Now, the flux was a Jodie Whittaker storyline, the culmination of which was that half the universe was destroyed, and the Doctor blames themselves. For Donna to mention this just shows that Russell T Davies is not going to ignore what Chibnall wrote and all of the Jodie Whittaker stories. And moving forward, this is canon. This is not getting retconned. And everything that happened with Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, including the Timeless Child, is my wife actually pointed out one thing that I didn't get. During this conversation, Donna, they're talking about where they were born. The scenes were going back and forth.
Right, because they were trying to figure out if they were the not things or not. Yeah.
And Donna mentions that no, she was not born in Chiswick. She was born in, I believe, Southampton.
Mm-hmm.
And the Doctor says he was born in Gallifrey. And Donna says, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
Which means that alludes back to the Timeless Child.
Mm-hmm.
So the Timeless Child and the flux and everything that happened with Jodie Whittaker and Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, they're not retconning it. That is canon. Well, they never is moving forward.
They never retcon Doctor Who. They always bring back some iteration of
either that or they just don't mention it again.
Right.
So they don't necessarily retcon the way Star Trek did in
Star Wars,
Strange New World Season 2,
or Marvel,
when they went back in time and saw little baby Khan Noonien Singh in the 2000s. It was supposed to happen in '96. That whole retcon, which was perfect, but we'll save that for yet another. Joe, what is that podcast?
Oh, that's just a friendly little podcast that I do called the Captain Squadron on our sister channel. Yes, I am the co-host of the Captain Squadron.
Plug, sorry, pal. I had to do it.
No, I appreciate it. It's synergy. You always, support yourself. No,
But so that was a pure retcon. But what Doctor Who tends to do, especially after 60 years, is okay, this didn't really work, so I'll just not talk about it.
yeah.
Again.
Or they'll redo it in a way that makes it cooler, you know.
Right. But nope. Russell T Davies comes out and says, nope, this happened and we're not going to change it and we're going to move forward, which means there is a possibility that we will be seeing the Timeless Child in the 15th Doctor's storyline.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but more focused on this episode. Excuse me.
Yes.
One of the things
we went out of sequence on this coverage because I wanted to spend a lot more time and focus on the companions.
Yes. Yeah, so let's throw to that.
See, I met this person and I got whooshed away across all space and time. I mean, I had the most amazing adventures, really. I mean, you wait till you hear, because I'm going to tell you them all.
Yes, this iteration of Doctor Who, our 14th Doctor, we, of course, are back with Donna, but there is another companion that we got to see for the first time in a long time. And luckily, when he's appeared, we're talking about our buddy here, Wilfred
Mott, played by the incomparable, amazing, the late Bernard Cribbins.
Yes. So when he showed up on screen, I was like, "Well, that's weird. Is this?" And I was looking to see, is that AI? Did they do something? And then later on, I read up, and they said, no, that he actually filmed some scenes before his passing, and they wanted to do more, but his health wouldn't allow it to happen. He was also 93 years old.
93 years old.
Yeah.
But he passed just a couple of weeks after he wrapped shooting.
Yeah, that's
so. The closing scene of this episode, and he will be returning for next week's episode as well. This was his last performance, and even though he had an amazing storied career, Bernard Cribbins will, for always in the hearts and minds of Who fans, he will forever be Wilfred Mott. Everyone's favorite grandpa.
Yeah, even though that was not his first appearance in Doctor Who, he actually was Tom Campbell in the 1966 Invasion of Earth when the Daleks first came in, and there he is, as you see, in the 1966 episode of Doctor Who.
I did not know that.
Oh, there you go. I got you. Yeah, and for tidbit that I learned is when Pertwee decided, John Pertwee decided, the third Doctor decided to leave. He actually auditioned for the role of the Doctor.
You did a lot more homework than I did this week.
Yeah, every now and then I use the old Google, But yeah, he actually, he Tom Baker.
Seeing Bernard in his younger days, obviously handsome man.
Yeah, look at him.
But I think that still at the time in the 60s, they didn't want someone even though judging by that picture from 66, and he was born in 23, so he was maybe in his 40s.
Yeah.
I think they still wanted someone a little bit older, which is why they went with John Pertwee.
No. Tom Baker. They went with Tom Baker after.
I'm sorry. It was in the 70s for Tom Baker. Okay, right. I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Yeah, his first appearance was in the 66 episode with I think Pertwee, and then or maybe in the second Doctor. But
no, 66.
Yeah.
Was that would have been Patrick Troughton.
Yeah, Patrick Troughton. That was his first appearance, and then he auditioned for the fourth Doctor.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thank you for schooling me and teaching me something new. See, when you tune in to the To Be Seen Network and the console room, you will walk away with a lot more useless information in your cranium.
Yeah. But everybody recognizes him best from the early David Tennant season, as David Tennant was the 10th Doctor. And I always found it funny that David Tennant was the 10th Doctor. You get it?
Mhm.
Tenet 10.
Yeah. Well, as it turns, if I'm not mistaken, Tenet is not his. Tenet is his stage name.
Right.
So yeah, there was also a little thing going on, kind of not safe for work, but a little innuendo going around with Billy Piper. Apparently, they must have went on a date when David Tennant was still single before he met his lovely wife,
who's the daughter of the
who
5th Doctor. It's all timey
and
wimey.
played the Doctor's daughter.
Yeah. Which is great.
There's a ball of timey wimey right there.
Yeah.
Just an aside. Great story of Peter Davison, the 5th Doctor, Peter Davison.
Mhm.
Someone asked him at a convention, what's the best gift a fan ever gave him? And as he's thinking, someone in the audience yells out, "A grandchild!"
That's amazing. I love that story. That's awesome. That is awesome. Was it David Tennant that yelled it?
It probably was.
Yeah,
David Tennant is- he loves if he's scheduled at the same conventions that with Peter Davison. Peter Davison is notorious for standing behind David Tennant with a sign that says he's not so special.
That's great.
To the point where David Tennant started doing that to his son.
Oh wow!
His son Ty Tennant, up and coming young actor, very good in his own right. He's on House of the Dragon. He plays one of the Targaryen boys.
Oh snap! Okay, you got me. I didn't know that because I love House of the Dragon. That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's a double Doctor Who connection with Matt Smith as one Targaryen, and David Tennant's son as another.
There you go.
So technically, House of the Dragon is a Doctor Who show.
Yeah. Look at that. All this timey-wimey.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But David Tennant, at Ty's first convention appearance, did what his father-in-law did to him. David Tennant stood behind Ty with that same sign. He's not so special.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
So
this is
it's a great family. But you know what? We have
diverging a little bit
on the show. Bernard Cribbins.
Yes, this is his final appearance.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the legacy and the career that you've given us, and the memories, and this character of Wilfred Mott, who will go down in history as one of the most beloved characters of all time.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
thank you,
and
Bernard.
we salute you as you salute. What a great character,
That old soldier.
Yes, he was a very pro Doctor character. Always figured, I know you figure it out. And then when they showed up and he's sitting there in the wheelchair, he's like, "Oh, I knew you'd come and save us."
Yeah.
You know, he was so happy to see the Doctor coming back. And then this is one of the behind the scenes.
Not just to see the Doctor, but to see, as Wilfred said, that face.
Yes, that's
that
right.
Face.
And then to see the three of them together again was really priceless. It was a lot of great little nostalgic pulls at our brain cells. So that was a perfect way to do this second episode. And
I have no problem admitting that every time I've watched the episode now and that particular scene a number of times, and my eyes were not dry once.
Yeah, it was really great to see him. And to know that this is his last performance was just amazing. Yeah. And it sets us up right into the thick of the next problem that we're going to be facing for the third special for the 60th anniversary specials.
The last
seems like there's some type of invasion, and we're going to be dealing with.
Well, we know who's coming. He's been hinted, and the actor playing the character was announced quite some time ago. The great Neil Patrick Harris will be playing the Cosmic Toymaker.
Yes, and the Cosmic Toymaker, which you got me a while ago when we did an episode, was played by Alfred from the Batman '89 series. And this is a coloring rendition of the Hertel's Doctor, the original Doctor.
William Hartnell.
Yeah, so this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something. The build up for this particular character, for this particular enemy, has been it's been written about in the press. It's been hinted at, and these 2 episodes, even though each one a standoff in itself, led up to the invasion, or as Wilfred said, the end of the world.
Right.
And we saw that plane crashing, and the Doctor and Donna pull Wilfred in front of the TARDIS where it's safe. Something is coming. We know that it's the Toymaker.
Right.
And it's going to be a long week.
Yep, it is. It is. I'm very excited to see this.
Until this drops on Saturday.
Yeah. And then, the trailers are out. We know that they're going to have another regeneration, but I think personally that there's going to be a twist.
Well, there's always a twist. There's always a twist. And it looked like the one scene that I've seen repeatedly, the one shot that I've seen repeatedly of Ncuti Gatwa, he keeps saying, "What the hell is going on?"
Right.
And if you look close, he's wearing David Tennant's shirt and tie.
Yep.
So whether or not these are his first words as the Doctor, which would be interesting, possibly not as interesting as kidneys,
right?
which was
not
a ginger. Kidneys.
Yes.
I don't like the car. So that should be interesting. That alone, the what the hell is going on is a hint that there is something screwy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
something
more
is definitely screwy.
We're
going to see.
I have a far left field theory. So we know Dr. Donna they kind of mended that issue, but does she still have Time Lord in her? Yes, correct?
I'm not. She has his memories. She no longer has
a Time Lord.
She's no longer the Meta Crisis, because if you remember at the end of the last episode, Donna and Rose gave it away.
Right.
So they released the Time Lord regeneration energy into the universe, and so they are no longer the Meta Crisis. They are no longer the binary epitome of human Time Lord. They are just humans again. But what is important is that Donna remembers.
Right, and she didn't die. So what my theory is,
which is always a good thing.
Yeah, that's a great thing. So what my wild theory is, that energy that got released into the universe, what happens if that comes back and we get a double?
That energy released into the universe could be what, for want of a better word, what brought back the Toymaker. The Toymaker was never called a Time Lord, but if I remember correctly from what if I read correctly, the William Hartnell's Doctor says that this character was one of his people.
Oh.
So now I could be wrong on that. So if I am, guys, hit us up on the socials and correct me. There is nothing I like better than being corrected.
Yeah, you can hit us up at To Be Seen on Twitter, Threads, and of course Instagram, or at the Console Room, all on the same, and including TikTok. So yeah, and while we're talking about those things, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you're notified of our next episodes, and give us a like. It's free and it does a lot for the channel. It's so little for you to just go click, but it does so much for us to grow. So we'd really appreciate it. Anything you can do to help. Such
And I
little
mean,
thing
you know,
would really
I'm
mean a
kind of needy.
lot.
You know, I mean,
I need
I'm
those
cute,
likes.
but I'm needy. So please like and subscribe.
Yeah, please, please, please. So yeah, that was just my wild theories that energy got released, and then
That is a pretty good theory.
yeah.
That is a pretty good theory. Wait a second. You know, okay, folks, this is the great thing about live podcasting. You're talking about the release of that regeneration energy. What if that regeneration energy going out into the universe? What if that was what created the timeless child?
Oh, but that would still give us the possibility of 2 different doctors.
Yeah.
So that would be cool.
And which would also explain why Jodie Whittaker's doctor didn't recognize the other doctor.
Right.
The
So
timeless
that
child.
would,
I'm sorry. The actress's
fugitive.
name escapes me at the moment.
fugitive
Again, correct me on the socials and let me know. And if you guys have any theories about what's coming for the 15th Doctor, whose premiere episode will be Christmas Day,
yeah.
Monday, December 25th. So what better Christmas gift than the gift of Doctor Who?
Yeah. So we'll be
And a new doctor.
Yeah, we'll be back a week after that one because it's Christmas.
Yes.
We
Well,
have to spend our time.
don't cut us off yet. We
Oh.
still have one more. We still have one more special to go.
Oh no,
And,
of course. I'm just saying that week we're not going to be here. On Christmas Day.
Well, you know what?
I'll be watching the episode with you.
We can discuss this offline, but if you want, I know we've talked about other specials that we want to do. So, folks, if there's anything that you want to hear from us, there's any maybe particular character, one with beautiful curly space hair, perhaps.
Yes, we'll talk about River Song. Yes, it's one of your favorites for sure. Yeah, I love that episode where they're in the library and they're dealing. Who turned out the lights? I thought that was a fantastic episode.
That was the first appearance, appearance of River Song, and her death.
Yes, first and final. Yeah, but it wasn't final. It was her first.
No. It was the last time the last time River saw the Doctor.
Yeah, because she sees him.
And the first time the Doctor saw her.
Right.
Moffat.
Yeah, he was really good as a showrunner. Yeah. Yeah.
But
for sure.
I River Song and her timeline definitely require one specific episode.
Oh, I think it'll be more than one because there's a lot going on.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to do a one and a twofer. But yes, as we roll out of this particular episode, be sure to join us next week as we're going to get into the 3rd special for sure. It's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of mystery that's going to be revealed as we bring good old Neil Patrick Harris as the cosmic toy maker, the main villain for the next episode. It's going to be a lot of crazy things going on. And
there will be a lot of questions answered, and I'm sure a lot more questions raised.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is shaping up. It has been 2 amazing episodes. I'm sure the 3rd is going to be the climax of this story. And just, then we're going to have to wait 2 more weeks.
Yes, for the next one.
For what they are calling Series 1. Going back to
numero uno.
Going back to the beginning.
Yep. And that is going to wrap it up for this week. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, but also be sure to check us out elsewhere. Sometimes your Nester will pop on this channel, which I am the co-host of, and that is the Captain's Quadrant. We celebrated our 100th episode. We had lots of special guests, very big surprises. You definitely want to check it out if you're a Star Trek fan. We're talking about Subspace Rhapsody, which we call the Agony Booth because it's a very divisive episode, and some people don't agree with it, but that's fine. You can also catch the guy who makes all these pretty things happen behind us, and not the two pretty men on the camera right now, but Pop Culture Spread with movie and streaming news that they have every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. or Saturday 9 a.m. in Australia. And of course, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you wouldn't mind, if you're listening to us on Google or any of the infamous streaming platforms for podcasts, if you wouldn't mind giving us a rating, we'd greatly appreciate it because it would help us grow. Yeah, 5 stars preferably, but 4 if, there's a little bit of one less heart for you in your chest. So until next week, Ernesto, this has been a lot of fun. We have gone through the episode. We have gotten to the midway point.
Joe, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. And we will talk offline about my feelings about Subspace Rhapsody.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. All right. Take care, everybody.
Good night.